everybody, my name's Erin, and today I am doing a book tag created by Eric on Break Even Books, all about showing off and sharing our pets with the booktube community. I'm really excited, and I think Cinder is too. So Eric from Break Even Books, who I will link down below along with all the questions, created this book tag to honor his dog Max and wanted us all to join in and share not only our book picks for these, but also some of our pet life. So I'll show some pictures and video clips of Cinder, my cat, at the end of this. But let's get into the questions. Question number 1 is, I've got a bone to pick with you. And this is all about books that left us unsatisfied. Maybe they started out good and ended up not so great. And for this, I chose Mort by Robert Rapino. So this book had such a cool premise. I was so excited to get into it because we follow Mort, who is a cute little kitty cat. And overnight, he kind of turns humanoid. He can stand, he can talk, he can hold things, he has very complex thoughts, and all of this happened because of the colony of ants that were advancing and preparing for war right under our noses for centuries, and they decided humans were bad and they wanted the planet to belong to animals once again. You follow Mort, and he's kind of working through this war between humans and animals. Along the way, though, he has his own mission. He's trying to find Sheba, who was a dog that his neighbor owned and he spent a lot of time with, curled up. They were very close, and he's hoping that if he finds Sheba, he can also find some peace. I went into this thinking it was going to be some funny scenes about animals turning into like humanoid figures. I thought there would be a lot of action, but really it focuses more on Mort's thoughts and his survival throughout the war, which turned out to be really just dark and depressing. I went into this thinking I was going to get something totally different out of it, and I just did not enjoy it. Maybe I'll reread this someday and go into it with the mindset of a war story, not this cool animal humanoid hybrid that I thought I was going to get. Our second prompt is Welcome Home. The book I chose for this has a lot of different things that make me feel like I'm at home. It's Little House on the Prairie by Laura Ingalls Wilder. First of all, my mom gave me this book. It was her own copy, and you can see how old it is, and in the front cover it has her name. So it definitely has that family connection for me. It's also one of the first series that I read on my own, and I loved it. I used to reread these books all the time. I haven't read them probably since high school, and I'm hoping to reread them again soon, but I'm trying to not reread until I've worked my TBR down. But eventually, I'm going to get back to this series, and I know I'll love it. Not to mention, it's all about prairie life, and a Kansas girl can relate to that. Okay, prompt number 3 is Ruffing It, and this is a story that follows a journey. I chose Wheel of Time for this. I read the first 3 books, and throughout all 3, they kind of follow this journey storyline where the characters start together, then they all kind of go their own ways, and then they usually end up back together in some form or another. So I've read up to book 3. I started book 4 yesterday, and book 3 was actually my favorite of those journeys because it just had some added elements of like prophecies and predictions, dreams, all becoming, realized and fulfilled. It really gave that journey aspect some added satisfaction. So book 3 and all of the Wheel of Time books so far are all about those characters' journey. Prompt 4 is Marking Your Territory, and this is a series that you will always stand by. And I couldn't think of a better series to choose than my channel's namesake, Sabriel by Garth Nix. I adore this series. It's one of my favorite necromancy books that I've ever read. I think the series as a whole, all 3 books are great. The magic and the way the different levels of death are depicted is just incredible. It has some great side characters, some great animal companions. Oh, I love it. You can definitely see how broken that spine is. After that, we have a prompt called Digging Holes, and this is finding some plot twists or little secrets throughout the book. I kind of went with a strange choice. I realized that I haven't read a lot of books that have like outright plot twists. Part of that is because I don't like thrillers and scary books. The Mysterious Benedict Society by Trenton Lee Jordan. These are a series of middle grade novels that follow 4 genius kids, and they are trying to uncover clues to solve mysteries and save the world. And so you get to solve the mysteries right along with them. The first book has plenty of twists and turns. They join an organization that they don't know much about. They're defeating a villain that they don't know much about. And so there are a lot of surprising discoveries throughout the way, and the fact that you're trying to solve the mystery with them and complete those puzzles just makes it even more exciting. This is one of my favorite middle grades that I've read as an adult, and I would definitely recommend it. They're kind of chunky, but so far I've read books 1 and 2, and they were both totally worth it. The next prompt is Stand By Me, and this one's about loyal characters and a good group of friends. So it took me a bit to think about this one because there are so many good examples of this, but one that I really enjoyed recently was in One Dark Throne by Cinder Blake. This is book 2. So in book 1, you're following 3 sisters who each have a skill: poisoner, naturalist, or elementalist. They're forced to kill each other by the end of the year, and whoever survives becomes the next queen. We'll have 3 daughters who will fight against each other. Cycle continues. So you also have suitors in this who, you know, are vying to marry whichever queen they think will win. Each girl is raised on their own little island with, you know, their own council, their own trainers, and all of that. Each of the girls has their own group of friends that remain very loyal, and they truly have their best interests in mind for the most part. One of the queens doesn't have that great of an entourage. There is one sister called Arsinoe who has a incredible best friend who is willing to go to battle for her. One of the suitors who falls for her defies his father, who wants him to choose another one, not because he wants power, but because he really genuinely loves her and what she's about and who she is as a person. And so especially in the second book, the friendships that she has just come to the forefront and really play a strong role in her survival, the outcomes of some of the battles that they start having, and it's really, really great. So this is just a good series overall. It's pretty unique as far as families fighting for the crown go. The first one is called 3 Dark Crowns. After that, we have Tug of War, and this is a book that you have mixed feelings about. For that, I'm going to choose Black Chalk. I don't remember the author's name, so just take a look at the picture right up here somewhere. So this book is kind of a psychological, I wouldn't say thriller, but just definitely going to turn your mind in circles. So it follows a group of college kids who decide to play basically a really super intense version of Truth or Dare, which is just dares. There's different levels, and your counterparts and friends get to decide the dares that you have to do. You have to put like $10,000 down. There's an outside organization who's like funding all of the dares, and so they go really extreme. And because you're choosing for other people, you know what their darkest secrets are. So you can kind of exploit those, their deepest fears. All of those just really come out throughout the book. And you're following one of the characters. You don't really know who's writing this journal at first. You also know that one of the characters has died. It's on the back of the book, so it's not a spoiler. You discover just a lot of weird and crazy things throughout the book. However, the ending was a letdown, like a huge letdown. It felt like it was building and building and building, and then just nothing, really. And I think the book is worth a read despite that fact, but I definitely go back and forth about whether I would recommend it. I think if the ending was different, it would be easily one of my favorite books, but I don't really know where I stand. It's still rated, I think, very highly for me this year, but man, did that ending let me down. The last one on our list is Treats, and this is a book that you are going to reward yourself with. And for me, that is Talia Hibbert. Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and Take a Hint, Danny Brown, both of them on audiobook. So first I went to get the physical copies for myself, and the third sister, Ava, has a book that's going to be coming out eventually. She's had the artwork up on her Twitter, and man, these books are just so cute and fluffy and adorable, and they just make me so happy. So I'm excited to see what the third sister's book is like, and I'm excited to get my own copy so I can reread them whenever I just need a pick-me-up. So that'll definitely be one of my treats for myself eventually. I also plan on getting the UK covers for all of like the Brandon Sanderson's book. Not to mention I'm also buying all the Wheel of Time books. So yeah, I have a lot of rewards coming up, but I've definitely earned it. 100%. There you have it. Here are some clips of my beautiful cats. I hope you enjoyed those, and then I'll see you later. Bye, guys.